I just heard, is it Jimmy Fallon, 20 years ago, he played Chris Rock, and he painted his face the same colour as Chris Rock, and Chris Rock approved of it because it wasn't it wasn't making the Mickey, it wasn't insulting black people. It was just taking the Mickey out of Chris Rock, and Chris Rock liked it. So, because we're living in this woke system, I believe he got fired. And 10, 20 years ago, there used to be, really, really good comedians that used to tell jokes about other coloured people. Black telling jokes about white telling jokes about black, and so forth, and gay telling jokes about straights telling jokes about gays, and vice versa. And everybody was open to take the mickey, to laugh about. But now we're in a society where you can't make fun of women, especially if you're a man, and because then that deemed to be sexist. And I really long for a period like the 80s or something like that, where anything was everything for a joke, but you still respected the people you were taking, the fun out, that you were making fun of. And we have this situation in America where this coloured fella gets killed by a cop, and I honestly thought, we reached a stage, especially with Barack Obama, where all that nonsense would stop, and people like in New York and every place else would be vetted before they became a police, that thou shall not kill. One coloured guy actually made a comment, something about this blackface movement that's going on, and I can't quote him, but he's basically against it because he's an educated man and stuff like that, and the way I read it is, we can't make a deal of this because it was the colour of the skin, because it can work both ways and stuff like that. We shouldn't put black people above. By doing this, you're putting black people above the white men, and we're all equal. That's the way he was meant to go about it, something along the lines. And see, now you've heard me saying coloured, okay? For me, we're all like colours, okay? Is blue a colour? Is grey a colour? Is white a colour? Is black a colour? Now, some people will say black isn't a colour, and I kind of differ on that. I like to think that we're all coloured. I'm a coloured. Not look at it's a bit white, pink there, reds. I'm multicoloured. We're all got all different colours, depending on what whereabouts in the world that you come from. And I just put it down to, it's not the colour of your skin that people dislike, it's the culture. We're all, after September the 11th, it's kind of heightened this sort of fear of, when you look at people now, everybody's a terrorist, everybody's this and that, and here's a white man, he's got to be racist. And I experienced a wee bit like that when I went to New York, and because I'm a bubbly guy from Scotland, I tried to speak to a cop and but it's a very, it's like he was on edge. And you wouldn't get that over here. You wouldn't, but that's because it's a cultural thing. Wherever you go on the planet, it's cultured. And again, I would, religion, of course, has always got a wee bit in it. We're always, Protestants against the Catholics, because even though it's like supporting the same book. And you got the Irish against the English, or the Scotch against the English, or you got, Canadian against America or something like that. It's all these cultural differences, the way we live our life, we seem to be threatened. Now this, I've not lived in America, but I know by films that when cops or so far see a black person, they think of gangs, they think of culture, and they forget that the fact that there's white gangs there as well, there's Mexican gangs, there's all over, and for some reason there is a lot of fear out there. And I've said this, and you look at Freddie Mercury, right? I was watching a video of him, the Bohemian Rhapsody film, and people were calling him Packy. And I thought, this was Freddie Mercury's not that dark, why would they call him that? And it's not until you see earlier footage of him as a young boy that he was a lot darker, and as he got older he got a lot whiter. A wee bit like Michael Jackson. And there was fun made about him and about the colour of his skin and stuff. And my first sort of girlfriend was an Asian. And when we got older in the classrooms, that's when it started to be a no-no. Go and stick with your own kind. And I got that from both sides. And, and of course, if you're marrying somebody from a different culture, it's always been asked that you have to sacrifice your own and take up somebody else's culture, which is ridiculous. I don't believe, if you fall in love with somebody and you want to raise kids, you shouldn't raise them up in any sort of culture apart from a loving one, and let them choose. I've seen many people from different religions, even Islam and stuff, leaving their religion because they do a wee bit of fact finding, and something along in that culture, in that religion, they don't agree with. And the only culture we should really be living with is a culture of just getting along and happy and accepting people for their differences. And as I said before many times, and we're just this, a big great bunch of souls or energy or whatnot inside these bodies, and we're all the same in the inside. Yeah, I was just reminded of an incident when we were in high school, and this coloured guy had said, and a coloured fella went and asked this other coloured fella, so what colour is, semen? Didn't kind of use that word, but he said black, and of course everybody laughed because he was black, and he must have thought that, he probably didn't do that and stuff, and that's really, and I'll probably save that for another conversation about men. We should just embrace people's culture, that they don't get told the exact same things. They've been brought up differently, and they've probably been shaded from some sort of truth and whatnot, and we shouldn't be scared to talk to somebody from another culture and let and educate them as they educate us. And for the life of me, I just hope this ends. I hope we do go back to we can make fun of ourselves and make fun of others. Because then if we don't, we're really taking life too seriously, and we're taking ourselves too seriously, and we should poke fun about our cultures, because culture is something that was made up years and years ago, and it's kind of stuck. Now as you look around the world, there's people finding their own wee cultures. You know, if it's anything to do, people finding, oh, let's be naked, let's be a nudist, let's, let's save the planet, that's my culture. Oh, I don't do religion, I do Buddha. Let's all jump different cultures so we can experience and love the world, but do not ever take it serious. As I say, we're all the same on the inside. The blood's the same, the makeup is the same. And just, somebody's just gave us all different paint jobs. And all of us, and I don't care what religion, whatever you support, we're all going to the same place. All this is just some weird life experience. And we should be joining hands and making fun of the world, making fun of our lives, and not take it so serious. And as I said, once we start firing people like Jimmy Fallon for a joke that was, for a comedy sketch that was both, done on both sides of the fence, as I say, Chris Rock approved of it, then all of a sudden 20 years later, it's been treated as a crime. It's rubbish. We're losing our way. We're not going forward by this so-called woke culture. We're not going forward by criticising every joke and everything else. The only way forward is by forgetting our cultures, forgetting our history, and just see each other as a different soul or different experience, and take pride in that other person's experience, and take pride in your own experience, and accept everybody, because we're all living lives. We all think we're all the centre of the earth, which we aren't. And as I say, let's try and stop judging people by their culture and by the colour of their skin. Because deep down, we're all the same. Thank you.